So our numbers aren't anything crazy right now. I'm still trying to build this thing.
Sure.
I would still consider myself very much in the infancy stage of, building a successful career as a singer-songwriter.
Well,
But
but you're doing it. That's the thing, and you're making progress, and each steps a little further. You know what I mean? So as you're evolving, as you're building, and then plus you got to remember too. I mean, as far as musicians these days, you were a bit of a late bloomer as far as jumping into it. You know what I mean? But like
yeah,
I said, I mean, thank God this isn't like some of the guys I interview on here, like rodeo or UFC, where you have this super short shelf life as far as the ability to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I think you keep plugging away, man, because anybody I ever introduced to your music is like, damn, Chad, thank you. I'm glad you sent that my way. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and they could
I
be going through
appreciate
something
that.
in life or not going through something in life. Just like, hey man, I'm looking for something different to listen to. I'm like, dude, I really enjoy this. I think you will too. And I think that's and here's the thing, when you're that kind of artist and you're not that, poppy fucking top 40 country guy, it's gonna take a little longer to get there. But you know what, man? It's your fucking journey and you're doing it.
Yeah, man, I'm fine with that. To a certain extent.
Yep.
I've got to take care of my wife,
Sure.
my kids, my kid. My one of them's pretty self sufficient at this point in his life, but I got a wife and 3-year-old. I got to think about the next, you know, 15, 18 years about with the kid, and the rest of my life with my wife. So
Sure.
I got to see some growth. I believe it's coming.
Yeah.
Uh, my focus right now is just more asses in seats, man. I just need
Absolutely.
more
And
people to
and,
show up
and
to the shows.
and I will tell you, LV, I've lived this same journey with Tim. You know what I mean? Because I mean, me and him have been friends for 10 years, so I've seen his whole journey and the ups and downs and all the shit you guys go through. The one thing that both you and him have, though, is that perseverance. You know what I mean? And you're going to keep working. You're not going to get outworked. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and you're going to take every opportunity you get, and and you just like the Rolling Stone one. Great opportunity, only if it's just so the record can see here's how I operate. But then
Yeah, right.
also other people just look at it and go, fuck, I feel like I know this guy now. You know what I mean? Like I'm connecting. Like that's another reason I love the podcast is, once again, here's an hour where people have just gotten to hear, here's the guy behind the music and what brought that music to you. Because you do just have such a passion and are such a unique individual and talented that when people hear that, like they become Elvie fans. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh man, I could give or take that. Like you listen to you for an hour and where all this came from and your background and the music that is driven. Fuck, dude, who does not want to be an Elvie Shane fan?
Well, hopefully there's at least a couple that listen to me talk and be like, I'm this chode. I'm turning this shit off. We need haters in life, don't we? We need
Oh,
haters.
if you ain't got
But
haters, you
no,
ain't trying hard enough.
that's right. That's right. No, man, I really appreciate all that.
Absolutely.
I still feel like word of mouth is king.
Yes.
And social media is just a great way to be able to spread word of mouth a little bit faster. So we're just trying to get things growing. I'm a little bit of an old soul when it comes to this new modern social media driven world. So trying to find our niche and all that to come across authentically and get people interested in following us on all that. So if you are watching this and you like 20% of what I had to say today, that'd be real cool if you go follow and check us out on all socials. If we're playing a show anywhere near you,
And
come on.
you got the tour schedule on the website or social or both?
Yeah, just
Perfect.
about everything is up on lvshane.com where people can go check it out. And then we've been selling vinyls and CDs, and we like me, my wife, and my roommate / tour manager are the ones packing them and shipping them
Yeah.
out. In-home operation. So if you want any of that stuff, grab it. I'll sign a copy for it.
Vinyl.
Wanna
That's
send it
fucking
out.
cool. I'm glad you did some vinyl. That's rad.
Man, what's crazy is the vinyls are selling like
Yeah.
hotcakes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I never thought. Well, I know that this many people don't have record players, but it's like it's just something cool to have to hang up on the wall, I guess, or whatever. But I've already had to put in two other orders.
That's awesome.
For vinyls, so that's been our best selling thing so far with this new project. So,
I love it.
and I'm signing everything.
Yeah.
you know, and everything that goes out the door, I have my hands on it and sign it, and I don't know if that makes it worth 25 cents more or what, but
At least
if you like
50.
it better
At
because of it.
least 50 fucking cent. I'm not more than a quarter, you son of a gun.
But no, man, we're just trying to have fun and keep the boat going down the river, you know.
I love it. And then before I let you go, I got one more question for you. Is now that we obviously know each other, but now that you've been on the podcast, is there anybody in your circle, one or two people that you think would be great for us to grab up and have join us?
Yeah, man. Ben Chapman,
Okay.
Stephen Wilson Jr. If you could get him on here, he's got such a cool story, and the dude's been grinding it out, writing songs for a long time. His dad was by all accounts I've heard a great man, a boxer, and really interesting individual. Ben Chapman, the one I told you about first, dude, he's just got whatever soul was floating around in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he's just somehow he's got it. He's reincarnated of some badass hippie southern rocker from the 70s. I just not sure which one it is, but Red Clay Stray Boys, Chase Rice.
Yeah.
Chase I kind of slept on Chase, I'll be honest. The first stuff that he was putting out, he had some success with it. It wasn't really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
My producer told me he was going to start working with Chase, and I thought that was an odd pairing. But he's like, hey, why don't you just come out to Chase's house? We got his house turned into a studio. Come check out what we're doing. And I was like, cool, man. I don't know Chase enough to not like him or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I just know the music. But I show up, and I thought my producer was there. Well, he wasn't even there. He just gave me the address, told me to go over there. So I knock on the door, and Chase comes to the door. He's like, what's up, man? And I was like, well, Oscar told me to come over. He's like, well, hell, come on in, Had some drinks. By the end of the night, I'm listening to these songs, and I'm just like, bro, what? This is sick.
Yeah.
So that record that he did with Oscar, it's got a picture of his dad on the front of the record. There's songs on there that are so amazing. Bench Seat, Chase wrote by himself. It's about a friend or somebody he knew of that went out one night, a veteran that went out to commit suicide one night in his truck and had a dog in the truck with him. And, there's a twist to the story. Mm-hmm. And it's just a really amazing story. And then Love Don't Walk That Easy, Way Down Yonder. I ended up singing on like 3 songs while I was there that night. Just singing harmonies and stuff because I was having so much fun. So I really love what Chase is doing now. He understands that it's way different than what he was doing. Sure. It's a paradigm shift, but he's putting in the work and he's sticking to his guns and doing what he believes in. So I can respect that. I was about to say
I respect the shit out of that. That's badass.
Well, but yeah, I think if you can get any of those guys, that'd be great. I was trying to think if there's some badass girls that you.
We got some coming up. I think we got 4 or 5 on the podcast, more blue collar driven, but. We've had a couple on. We had Lexi the electrician on. We've had a few, and they those ladies in music and trades they're awesome. They're great to have on, and it's also awesome to hear their story too because you know all the work that goes into it.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not an easier route for a woman, where some jobs can be, I guess, but yeah, through Troco and everything, I've met some of those trades girls at shows that came out and stuff, and it's like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah. Like you're a Boilermaker? Yeah. Like I've never met a female Boilermaker before. That's wild,
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and you got to admire the hell out of it. You know what I mean?